What if I told you that 7 European men sat around a table and redrew the entire map of Africa without a single African in the room? This is the story of the Berlin Conference, the deal that carved a continent. In late 1884, at the invitation of Germany's Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, delegates from 14 Western nations gathered in Berlin. Their goal? To divide Africa's lands, minerals, and resources peacefully among themselves. They called it the Berlin Conference, but for Africa, it was the beginning of the scramble, a diplomatic land rush that ignored tribes, cultures, and communities. At the time, Africa was still largely independent. Only coastal ports and a few trade routes had been colonized. But Europe wanted more, especially Britain, France, Belgium, and Germany. Why the rush? Because Africa had rubber, gold, ivory, oil, and untapped farmland. Europe's industrial machines were hungry, and Africa became the buffet. For 104 days, maps were drawn, zones were claimed, and a rule called effective occupation was written. It meant if you could control the land, you could keep it. No African leaders were invited, not one. But their homelands were diced up like puzzle pieces, many borders drawn by rulers who had never even set foot in Africa. The conference ended in 1885. Within just 25 years, almost 90% of Africa was under European control. Only Ethiopia and Liberia remained independent. Some colonial claims were shocking. King Leopold II of Belgium didn't just take land, he claimed the entire Congo as his personal property. He called it the Congo Free State, but it was anything but free. Millions of Congolese were forced to harvest rubber. Failure meant beatings, amputations, or death. Historians estimate 1.5 to 10 million people died. And that was just one country. All across Africa, local rulers were overthrown, cultures suppressed, languages erased, economies rebuilt to serve European capitals. The borders created at the Berlin Conference didn't reflect Africa. They reflected European ambition and rivalry. Tribes were split across countries. Rivals were forced together. The effects? Even today, many of Africa's modern conflicts trace back to these colonial lines. Lines drawn not with understanding, but with rulers and red ink. In time, Africans would resist. Decolonization began in the mid-1900s. But the scars of Berlin still shape politics, identity, and memory across the continent. The Berlin Conference wasn't a war, but its consequences lasted longer than bullets ever could. This was the scramble for Africa. And it all began in a room in Berlin.